Dispatch to all units. This is a third alarm. Switch to the TAC channel.
You got water.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TAC channel. I'm your host, Heath Meredith. This is the Third Alarm Cowboys podcast. This is a podcast for firefighters. We talk about real life situations, stuff in your station like leadership and promotions, and stuff in your personal life like relationships and finances. You name it, we talk about it. Some things may be a little controversial, but that's real life, and that's what we're going to talk about on this show. All right, guys. Guys, what's going on? I just got home this morning, worked my side job a little bit yesterday, rode that old boo-boo bus. And y'all know how that stuff goes, man. I'm not a fan of the boo-boo bus, but it is what it is. So, guys, catching up real quick. This is the last week. Friday, I will stop the pre-sales for all of the conference-exclusive shirts for the conferences that we have in March. That is March Mayhem in Boise, Idaho. I'm running that exclusive there, where it's going to have March Mayhem actually tagged on the shirt. We're going to stop that pre-sale on Friday, and also the conference first week of March in Louisiana, the LIFT conference, which is for all you Louisiana firefighters out there. We've got the special shirt going on for both of those events, and where it's going to be tagged specifically for that event. I'm going to stop the pre-sales for that on Friday. If you do want one of those shirts and you want to be sure that you get one, then you need to do the pre-sale. I'll get them shipped out. I'm also going to add the tag on there where you could do a will call pickup. I'm going to print some extras, but not many. This is the last week we're going to do a printing for the conference exclusive shirts. So I can't guarantee that I'll have your size. I'm going to have some shirts that I'm bringing, but it won't be the conference exclusive. And like I said, I can't guarantee your size. So if you want that and you want something that represents the conference that you were at, represents the state that you're from, and all that good stuff, then you need to go on there and pre-order this week. Also, for March Mayhem, we do have the pre-sales going for the cigars. Guys, we're going to have the slow burn night where the guys from the Can Report, Preston Lyons, Logan Hinkle, bunch of different instructors. I think Todd Edwards is going to be up there. These instructors are all going to be on the stage. They're going to be able to do a Q&A and all this stuff with you guys that are all attendees of this slow burn night, which is a cigar smoking night. Guys, the cigars that's going to be able to be there is the Third Alarm Cowboy cigars. That's what we're going to be burning that whole night there. I do have a pre-sale going for that where we're going to do a will call because I'm basically shipping directly from my cigar manufacturer, Payne Mason, to March Mayhem. I'm not bringing them to Texas and then trying to get on a plane with them and all that stuff. So my only way of really being able to do that is doing a pre-sale, and it's through the website, and I have the link attached to all the different deals. I'll put it on this podcast episode as well. You plug in the promo code Mayhem Will Call, and basically just come up, show me your receipt on your phone or whatever, like show me the invoice where it's paid, and I'll give you your cigars. That's going to be the way that you get the cigars out there. I will have some that I'm going to do for basically the special deal I have to do when I do in-person sales. But I'm going to tell you now, guys, it's cheaper to buy the pre-sale. It's cheaper to buy the pre-sale, and that guarantees your cigars. So go to the link, follow the link through our website, through our Facebook, all that stuff. It'll all be there, and go ahead and order your cigars. That way I'll have them waiting on you to come up, get your cigar. Other than that, guys, like I said, I can't guarantee that I'll have one for you because we've got like 800-something people that are supposed to be at this event. And so we've got a ton of cigars that are sold, but me being able to fly with 800 cigars is going to be kind of difficult. So that's what we're working on doing, guys. Get your orders in. Stuff is moving super fast. My t-shirt ladies had to do like an extra 400 freaking shirts. She's been working literally all through the weekend. I talked to her this morning. I'm running here in just a little while to go pick up some shirts. Some of you guys that ordered the pre-sale for the Blackout Outlaw and the Founding Outlaw shirts, guys, we got all those coming in. So I'm going to start jumping on getting orders. The stuff that I do have in today, I'm going to start getting sent out. All that, man, this is nuts. One of our Founding Outlaws messaged me the other day. He's like, man, did you ever imagine that you would be doing this? I'm like, no, absolutely not. The original round of shirts, I think we printed like 100 shirts of the Firehouse Fistfight shirt. And we sold out in those in like an hour and a half in Tennessee. And from that point forward, it has been insane. It's been truly insane. Without looking at the exact count, I mean, we sold a couple thousand last year. And this year alone, I mean, we're right here first part of February and already sold like over 400 shirts. So it's crazy. It's awesome. I really appreciate all of you that truly do support that message of what the Firehouse Fistfights is all about. No, it's not about fisting, some sexual connotation. No, it's not technically about going and throwing hands, although I do believe that sometimes that's what needs to be done when you have hard-ass men in the same damn house. But ultimately, guys, what it comes down to is giving a shit about each other, giving a shit about the job, giving a shit about your families. It's about giving a shit. That's what the shirt ultimately. People ask all the time in the comments, well, what does it mean? If it doesn't mean fistfights and going to HR and getting an assault charge and all this bullshit, what does it mean? It means giving a shit. That's what it means. So if that's something that you don't want to get down with, then that's fine. That's not, this isn't for you. This platform isn't for you. And I've accepted that fact, guys. I reached out to all the founding outlaws, and this is the first time really talking about it big time on a podcast, but now that we're doing some updates, I've reached out to a lot of you guys and have offered you all the opportunity to become founding outlaws of the Third Alarm Cowboys. This is guys like Mike Goldstein that runs his own deal. He's got the Can Report. Several other big time podcasts or training companies. Guys are involved with their own companies. I've even reached out to them to bring them in on this movement because it's all us together. And ultimately what it comes down to is giving a shit. Like, that's it. And so the guys that have, received those messages from me, it's guys that have been with us from the beginning, that have always supported, always shared the show, always given me, words of encouragement or told me their stories and how we made a difference in their career or their family or whatever. Things where guys, I've shown that they've taken action to make their life better, make their department better, make their family better. They've actually done some shit. That's who the founding outlaws are. And to be quite frank with you guys, there's about a dozen that I added to the roster this week and last week after all of the social media stuff that was going down, and dudes that truly stepped up that I didn't even know them. They stepped up and they came to me and they said, man, we came to your page because, we thought you were a piece of shit because of what you were saying on social media. Come to your page, watch some of your videos, listen to some of your podcasts, read your posts, and we actually support what you got to say. And then they go and they defend me. And they defend the Third Alarm Cowboys as a movement and what it's doing, all that. And so I'm like, hey, I'll shoot you the short video too, explaining what the Founding Outlaws is all about. And I want you in on this because you're showing that you will take action to make the fire service better, to make your family better, and to make your community better. That's what it's truly about. So guys, if you have received that video or somebody, if you receive that video and you know somebody that needs to be included on this, shoot me a DM, be like, hey man, this dude's solid, go check him out. And so that's what I'm doing, guys, is truly reaching out to people to make this movement grow. We've already got, man, there's over 100, which is pretty damn awesome to know that you're going to have over 100 people that are repping, a specialty founding outlaw shirt, that are out there really making a difference on their social media, making a difference in their departments, in their stations, and really doing some shit. That's very, very cool to me. It's very cool to me, and I'm proud to have all of you. That's all I can say is I'm proud to have all of you. You're actually doing some shit, and you're taking action to make a difference, man. That's ultimately what it's about. So like I said, guys, get those pre-sales in. Friday, it'll be cut off, and you're basically gonna, if you're gonna gamble and want to come to the conference, to the booth and purchase from us there, yeah, I'm gonna have some stuff, but I can't guarantee you I'll have your size. It literally will depend on how much we sell. And guys, these shirts go fast at conferences. They go real fast at conferences. Same with the cigars. They go insanely fast. It's been pretty damn remarkable. So with that being said, guys, that's really kind of catch you up on everything. I'm going to give you all one more little deal. Guys, First Form has dropped a new energy drink flavor, and it is the Paradise Punch. Guys, I'm going to tell y'all straight up, it tastes like Hawaiian Punch like it did whenever you were a kid. Badass energy drinks. I drink them all the time. I always drink them when I'm on my way to work. Here lately, I've been drinking them in the afternoons too because we've been burning at both ends with the kids rodeoing and softball's kicked off, and it's absolutely wide ass open around here right now. So if you want an energy drink, you need any of your regular supplement needs, whether it's high clean protein, it's not filled with a bunch of fillers and bullshit. If you want pre-workouts, all that stuff, First Form is unmatched when it comes to the actual quality of their product. They basically have something for everything. Their protein bars, I've been snacking on them in the evening because they taste like a candy bar, but they don't have all the carbs and all the bullshit. 20 grams of protein. I'm basically treating that, honestly. The peanut butter lovers is like what I'm using as my midnight snack, if you will, before I go to bed. and really eating that so that I'll quit eating damn ice cream and shit like that. Cause y'all know that, us big dudes, we got the sweet tooth. So use that. I mean, they're protein bars, the beef sticks, that, I mean, it's a whole meal. It's 20 grams of protein and it doesn't have any of the carbs and all that stuff in it. So if you're somebody that's counting your macros and you really struggle like I do to get my protein intake, cause I shoot for over 250 grams of protein a day whenever I'm actually doing right, like I have been lately. And, it's hard to always hit that 250. So I supplement a lot with shakes or bars or the beef sticks. I mean, you got to get the food in, especially if you're wanting to maintain your muscle mass and lose the fat. That's ultimately where you need to start, is getting your protein intake up. So a lot of guys out there that follow this page, I've helped you with your meal plans, helped you with your coaching, workout, stuff like that, guys. If that's something that you're interested in, you want to know more about First Form, or you want to know more about how to get, the weight off, how to lift, how to do that. I'm a big dude, but I move well. I'll tell you all day long, I could be like a fucking monster if I didn't love Mexican food so much. The chips and queso get me. That's the reason that I have a belly, but I'm not shy at all when it comes to being honest with myself. And just the sheer fact that in the gym, though, I could still kill it. Doing a pat test at the fire department, I can still kill it. People look at me and they underestimate, oh, he's a big dude, he can't move. I promise you I can move. And, every single one of you can too. We don't have to look like fitness models, looking like we're calendar boys in order to perform on the fire ground. That's just the cold, hard truth to it. Firemen have never traditionally been built like fitness models. And for some reason, 20 years ago, we decided as an industry that that's what we needed. But I'll say it all day long, we don't. Sometimes you need a bulldozer, somebody that can move some damn 5-inch without ending up in the ambulance. That's just what it is. So that's who I've always been my whole career. But, in going through my career, I've used lots of different supplements. I've tried pretty much everything under the sun that all your big box stores and stuff sell. And at the end of the day, man, I love First Form. I love what they stand for as a company. I love their CEO and what he's done for the overall just American country as a whole. So with that being said, guys, you can go to firstform.com/third alarm cowboys. That's the number 1stphorm.com/third alarm cowboys. I'll get the credit for the sale. And they're one of our, they're basically at this point, really one of the only sponsors that I have kept up with. We've had some other great sponsors through the years of this podcast, but I've, never had any issues or anything like that with any of the sponsors. But basically I got busy and quit talking to guys and quit trying to take on sponsors. So First Form's been here with me from the very beginning, and they're going to continue to be with me. They support this podcast and everything that we're doing for firefighters and, trying to make you guys better. That's how you can support us. That's how you can support a true American company, is ordering all your stuff from them. So anyways, guys, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. I really kind of bounced around on different ideas. I have several guests lined up of people that I want to bring on, people that I want to pick their brains, guys that a lot of you know and follow and respect what they have to say. And basically it's just a scheduling deal, because then it's on me. I've got so much shit going on. Some of these dudes aren't available till in the evening times, and shit around my house trying to do this in the evening times with all my kids at home. It's very hard to do. So I'm trying to work the logistics out for some of that. But other than that, guys, I've been bouncing around some ideas, and I think in lieu of everything that I've seen on social media, the stuff that we have going on politically, the stuff that we have going on in the fire service with all the big conferences, and just as a whole, I want to take a short little 30,000 foot view of something that I see going on pretty consistently across the fire service. As some of you know, I've recently, in my full time, I've been moved stations to a slower station, but a station that, needs to be beefed up on their training. It also puts me on one end of the district, and then my guys that have traveled with me, my instructors, are on another end of the district. We're all real, highly experienced, been around a long time, got a lot of reps under our belt on fires and stuff like that. And so now we're going to kind of sandwich our entire department, because my district's department is long and skinny, basically. So it puts me up here, puts my other guys down here, and we're able to work with the other stations that we have and really start coordinating some training and get some stuff going, guys. Throughout this process of making this change, and I'll be the first one to say, man, when I got that phone call, I was pissed the hell off. I didn't want to change stations. I was wholeheartely good with staying right where I was at, riding backwards for the next 10 years until I freaking retire. Like I want to be at a hot house. I want to make fires. I want to, have fun with my guys that I trust and that I know, and they know their shit. And I'm not having to play babysitter. I'm not having to have anybody babysit me. We just get to rock on and do the job. So the last couple weeks, I've had a lot on my mind when it comes to all this shit. And basically, guys, this is the deal, what I've learned in moving and now being around, honestly, some guys I've never worked with before. I see them in passing, but I've never made fires with them because they're 20 miles away from my station. And, they don't run. They're not on our boxes because they're on their own boxes and all this kind of shit. And meeting guys, and it makes me realize, like, the fire service has a lot of really good fucking people. A lot of really good people. And going and meeting and traveling, going to these conferences, and just, it's kind of funny because we laugh, and a lot of you guys out there that go to these conferences, you will agree with me when I say this, but like every department has the same people. Every department has the same people. Everybody has a Heath. Everybody's got the old head, EO, like we do. Everybody's got the pawpaw in the room. Everybody's got, the company man. Everybody's got the partiers. Everybody's got the fucking womenizing, beer drinking, partying, cheating dudes. Like every department has the same fucking people. They just all have different names. They all look a little different, but it's the same shit over and over and over again. And the big issue is, in years past, and I'm going to sound like the old head, but it's just the damn truth, the ratio of the inexperienced guys versus the this versus the that, the experienced guys, the people that were the policy Nazis, the safety Sallies, all the different labels that we give to people, the ratio, it was always kind of at a wash. And, you may have two piece of shit captains that live off of policies, but they suck on the fire ground and they ain't worth a damn, but they get by because they're great at the policies. And then you may have two captains over here that don't give a damn about the policies, but they're badass on the fire ground. Yeah, they're a little wild and aggressive, and some people may not like them, but damn, they're good on the fire ground. And so it balanced out. Well, what I'm learning and what I'm seeing, traveling the country and meeting all these people, and even, departments at home and departments that I deal with, right here locally, people I work with and shit like that. The focus is not on the job anymore. It's not on the job anymore. The operations side of the fire service, as you all know, I've said for 100-some episodes now, is totally under attack. Everything's being replaced with policies. Everything's being, SOGs and procedures. And if it's not wrote in black and white right here, we don't do it. And that's going across the board. You go to these places. I mean, we've gone to conferences before, and, we teach a very realistic, probably the most realistic, in my opinion. I'm biased, of course, but I mean, our engine class is called the real pump to nozzle class, where we cover real pump ups. I'm not talking about friction loss and bullshit and this and that and mathematical equations of pump theory. We're talking about actual shit that works from guys that have made thousands of fires. I mean, guys like, and I was mad. I was a mad motherfucker. I'm up there cussing. The dudes could hear me. The last 2 shifts that I've been gone, my crew has made 5 working structure fires since I've been gone. And that's not out of the ordinary. That's pretty normal numbers. But for you guys that don't understand, like when we say we do real pump ops with highly experienced dudes that are making fires and pumping every fucking day, 5 working structures in 2 shifts. That's what we do. Sometimes we're relay pumping. Sometimes we're the water supply, like the picture I shared a couple weeks ago where I'm drafting out of the fucking ditch. Sometimes we're doing that, and I'm not the guy on the nozzle. Sometimes the manpower gets called up. Captain, a firefighter, may be up there, and they're inside on a secondary line or a backup line or doing a primary search or ventilating or something like that. And then if I'm driving the tanker that day, I'm just doing a fucking relay pump. Or I'm doing a water supply where I'm doing a tanker shuttle. And then the EO is doing, he's pumping. Like there's a million different things that go on the fire ground. You don't always get to be the guy on the nozzle. And that's just a reality. That's 100% reality. And that's not even throwing in ladder operations, which we'll get into that. But in saying all this, what I've learned in meeting people is the knowledge base is starting to highly, highly shrink. And these people that are ate up with SOGs, and they think that if it's not written in this box inside the SOG, then it's not true. When we were at a training in another state, and we're doing a big class, and we were literally talking about, how to pump, doing different pump pressures, doing a massive relay and all this kind of stuff. And one of the guys in the class was telling us that his department has a very strict SOG where they cannot go below like 20 PSI residual on their pump. And we're like, okay, but what at all? And he's like, no, they have an absolute policy against it. They have to keep 20 PSI and residual on a pump. Okay, cool, whatever. And we were talking all this, and, as instructors after, we kind of critique the class and see what we learned, what's new in this area, what type of equipment. We're constantly trying to work through some issues to figure out how to make our class better. And we're like, damn, we never heard of that one. I've had departments like, hey, people was coming screaming at me when I pull a fucking vacuum on that bitch and I got the 5-inch clapping and I'm sitting at a vacuum of like -10, -20. That's when people make a fucking issue. But I'm getting you water and you never lost water, so fuck it. What difference does it make? I've never had a department say like, hey, they have to keep this much in residual. And it's like, okay, wow, well, at all times? Well, to me, that's like probably a miscommunication somewhere along like, yeah, we keep 20 PSI in residual for a what if. Because if I need to pull a fucking red line and I get 20 PSI to put a guy out because he's on fire or to knock down a fucking exposure, that's why we did it. Whatever. There's no explanation to it. It's just like, hey, this is what we do. Well, that's cool. But as firefighters, we're problem solvers. I'll say that till the day I die. We're problem solvers. We solve all the world's problems. My funniest thing that I say when it comes to that is here in Texas, guys, this is no bullshit, but it's funny. People literally call us in Texas when their air conditioner goes out and it's the middle of summer. And they call 911. The fire department shows up because that's what we do. We're the problem solvers. And people's like, my AC is not working. Can you fix it? No, I can't. If I was an HVAC guy, I'd be making $115 an hour running my own company. I would not be running med calls at 2 o'clock in the morning on a fucking ambulance. I can assure you. We are the problem solvers. That's what we do. But yet, when you put the problem solvers in this fucking box, and y'all are going to see me do this motion a bunch this episode. You put the problem solvers in this box and you tell them, this is all you can think. This is the only way that you can let your brain function. Most of the time, that box is a SOG manual or a policy handbook. You're handicapping and handcuffing people to do their fucking job. And so my question is, and like I say all the time, man, and I'm not ever beating anybody up individually. You'll know it when I come after you because I'll name your fucking ass. I don't beat people up individually. I put ideas out there from things I've heard from individuals to say like, hey, and I give my opinion on it. My opinion on a department that says you must have 20 PSI residual at all times on your pump. My opinion on that is that somebody probably said that at one point in time through the years, and then it was never explained why. And then now we've gone through 2 or 3 generations since that SOG came out or whatever it looks like. And now it's just, oh, well, we do that. Okay, well, why do you do that? Well, I don't know. It's always been that way. There's an old story, guys. Some of you might have read it. It's gone around on Facebook for years, but it's just funny. I don't remember the 100% details, but basically, there's a guy, he's in like DC or something, and there's 2 military members that are guarding a bench somewhere on a sidewalk. Stand there guarding a bench. And he asked him like, hey, what are you doing? Well, it's part of our detail that we have to guard this bench, blah, blah, blah. And gets to digging, and basically goes that it had been put in SOG that there has to be 2, guys guarding this bench at all times, blah, 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 blah. I'm paraphrasing and shortening the story, but basically when it comes back to it is 20, 30, 40 years ago, guys were sent out here to guard this bench because they had freshly painted it. They didn't want anybody to sit on the fresh paint, so they told the guys, hey, stand there and make sure that nobody messes with this bench. And then that's all they said. And then relief came, and then relief took over that, and then it's gone through generations now, and you got 2 dudes that are sitting here who are guarding the bench. They don't know why they're guarding the bench, and it all comes back to is like, oh, shit. Well, all I was doing was wanting some guys to stand there and guard that bench to make sure they didn't sit on the wet paint. So that's what I would take a lot of these type of SOGs that get solidified in a policy or in an SOG, and it's like, okay, well, where did that come from? And that's what we're going to get into talking on this episode from a 30,000-foot view of where you problem solvers aren't thinking. Firefighters are not thinking. Firefighters they don't have the ability to abstract think. And for several episodes in the very beginning of this, I beat that shit up all the time because I see it in public school with my kids. They don't teach them to critically think anymore. That's not even excuse me. It's not even a topic that's discussed. Don't think outside the box. Did we tell you, we spoon feed you, here you go, this is what you need to think, this is what you need to do. And so that's as far as it gets. Well, now those kids, I mean, my oldest daughter's about to be 18. Like, she's about to come in the workforce. She wants to go, if she wanted to go, right now is February. If she wanted to go to Fire Academy in August, she could, and could be working for any one of you assholes out there. Not going to happen. I want her to do better and make more money in her life than going and running med calls. But like, my kids are at that age. Well, I've literally watched her throughout her growing up, where that critical thinking of her classmates and all, I mean, they don't fucking have it. They don't have it. So now we literally have these firefighters that are coming in that don't have the ability to critically think. And I'm not talking shit. That's just the cold, hard truth. In a job that is dangerous as fuck, in a job that literally changes as the seconds go on. You know, we're the greatest about putting data up and all the fucking, you know, Christmas tree, your house can burn down like this in this amount of seconds. And we'll put the video up of how quick the tree lights up and then it spreads across the room. Okay, but that's you on scene, motherfucker. Like, that is you making those tactical decisions in that amount of time too. We can all talk about it on Facebook, but like, that's you. You're tasked with fixing that problem by the public, by your paycheck. So if you don't have the ability to critically think and get through the process and realize, like, every fucking scene is different. There is no cookie cutter way of being a firefighter. And that's what I'm sick of. I'm sick of the standardization. I talk about this in my lecture. I'm sick of the standardization. I'm sick of this uniformity of the fire service is bullshit. We're not all the same. Fire trucks are not all the same. Districts are not all the same. Structures are not all the same. Every med call you go to is different. Every fucking wreck you go to is different. And yet the gurus in the fire service that write the fucking books say, no, we have to respond to every single one of them the same. That is literally, okay, you big worded motherfuckers, like, that's a contraindication right there. But yet, we won't say that. We won't act like that. We won't perform like that. We won't do that every day. And in talking to guys and going to these trainings and stuff, like, I'll be wholeheartedly and honest with y'all guys. I met guys very recently, been in the fire service 10 years. They don't know shit riding a damn ladder truck. And this is people that are I'm telling y'all, been in a long time. Been around these trucks for a long time, rode the trucks for a long time. Stuff that guys would have been taught 15 years ago as like a normal ladder truck checkoff. These dudes don't know now. Because it's not in the policy handbook. Why? Because the policy handbook doesn't really tell you how to do your job. But dudes are not having the ability to critically think and abstract think to understand, like, there's life outside that policy handbook. And so what I beg you fire chiefs, I'm fucking begging you guys, cut the fucking policies back down to bare minimum and tell these guys there's more to their job than that. It's not in this fucking book. That policy handbook cannot tell you where to spot an apparatus on every single fire. Unless in that policy handbook, you're going to lay the pre-plan in the whole policy handbook. And if you're Houston Fire Department and you want to do a pre-plan for every fucking structure in your entire department's district, covering 7 million people, to do a pre-plan of if there's fire in every single, in this room or this room or this room or this room, in this structure and this structure, your policy handbook, my fucking house could not hold a policy handbook that thick. So what does the Houston Fire Department do? It says at the discretion of the company officer, at the discretion of the district chief, to spot their apparatus, to make their attacks, to make the decisions, to do the job the way it needs to be done, the way they see it when they arrive on scene. And yet we have people in the fire service that can't fucking do that. Officers in the fire service that can't fucking do that. They cannot abstract think, look at a situation, know where the guys need to spot the truck, where they need to take the line, where they need to do this, where they need to do that. I mean, this is fucking nuts, guys. It's a failure on the entire industry. And the only ones that suffer from it is the generations younger than us in the fire service, because they're not getting taught a fucking thing. And then it's the community, because they suffer, because they have a crew that shows up that can't handle their emergency. that cannot problem solve whatever their emergency is. And this 2025 season really slapped me in the face with this realization. And like I said, this is not a knock on any individuals personally at all. It's just where we are as a whole. You know, part of what I teach in my lecture and all this different stuff is, you know, the senior guy and this, and, you know, and I've gone over a million times, so I'm not going to get into it, but we have a lack of senior experienced personnel in the fire industry now. We have a shitload of 25-year and up guys that are all at the chief rank or at the retired on duty rank. And then we have a bunch of 5, 6, 7-year and younger guys that have made nothing but med calls. There is no one in between. That's where I am, but we are the very small minority of the fire service as a whole. And I hope everyone realizes that. But the issue is, we're the ones that's supposed to be teaching all this knowledge. Like, hey, you pull up at this apartment complex, you need to spot the apparatus right here. Why? Because it's a fucking ladder truck, and the ladder truck needs to be able to go to the roof or go to the 3rd story. Okay, cool. Where do you spot a ladder truck? If it's a rear-mounted ladder truck, it's a question. Chiefs out there, this is a question. And I want you to know right now that as a department, your training is not proficient if your guys cannot answer this question. If they are driving, if they are an EO, a promoted EO, not a ride-up driver that's still learning, a promoted EO, and you ask them this question, where do you spot? I don't give a fuck if they are. If they're the first in ladder truck to a multi-story, 4-story apartment complex, and it's a rear-mounted apparatus, how or where should they park? If they can't answer that question, then your department's training is failing. Because there's only one answer for that. And I'm not going to give y'all the answer. If you want the answer, message me directly and I'll give it to you. I'm not going to give y'all the answer for that question. A ladder truck has a specific job. And the way they're built has a specific reason. And that's what I'll say. Message me if you need to know the answer for that question. If your guys, when you walk in there and your guys can't answer that, then you need to work more on the training. You need real life training because your driver operator books ain't teaching that shit. Your fucking Class B driver's license shit ain't teaching that shit. But when there's a baby hanging out of that window on the 4th story of that apartment complex, it's not the time to fucking learn. It's not the time to learn. And when your guys are dicking around because they don't know how to spot the truck, they don't know where to park, they don't know how to make it move, they don't know how to do this, they don't know how to do that, they don't know what short jacking it, they don't know all that kind of stuff, but you have them assigned to a fucking ladder truck, you're the failure, and your department is failing. And then that baby is going to die, and that weight is on you. That's the brutal, honest truth. And no, I'm not a ladder truck god. I've been on an engine now a long time. Last time, it's been over a decade since I was full-time staffed on a ladder truck. But that shit we were taught as pipemen riding a ladder. If you were riding up as a driver, you were damn sure know how to do all that kind of stuff. And the trucks now are way easier and way nicer to deploy. They got remotes that are fucking Bluetooth. It don't take 4 guys to set up a ladder truck like it used to. One fucking dude can do it now if they're good at it. So that's one of those things. You know, tactical things, guys. I've seen it so much, and this is my only beef. And guys, I have a shitload of very close friends of mine. I'll give them a fucking shout out. I got Mike Goldstein out there, Drew Elliott out there, the guys from Old South Fools, Kyle Romagus. I mean, fuck, the list goes on. Todd Edwards. There's so many dudes that are fucking awesome at teaching handline proficiency and doing badass shit with handlines. But guys, that is one piece. That's not even this much. That's like this fucking much of your job. The nozzle forward, smoothbore, fog nozzle, all that shit is literally like not even 1% of your job as a firefighter. And yet, at every conference that you go to, that's the classes that everybody's signing up for. And why? Because it's fun and it's cool and it's fire attack and everybody wants to fight fire. I do too. I'm fucking mad as shit about getting moved to another station where I'm not going to get to fight fire every day. I fucking get it. I'm no different than you guys. But literally being on that nozzle is less than 1% of your job as a firefighter. There's so much other that goes to it. But the deal is, guys, and I've seen it my whole fucking career. My whole career. Every firefighter comes out the truck, wants to grab a cross lay, be on the nozzle, be at the front door. Every firefighter. But then you roll up, you're at a 4-story apartment complex, internal stairwells, fires on the 3rd or 4th floor, and dudes are still trying to pull a cross lay. Why? Because they haven't been taught anything else. Because the guy's teaching them, you got a 24, 25-year-old captain, you got a 23-year-old EO, and their senior is 18 and a half, and they're 18. I'm using those numbers, but guys, you understand. The senior firefighter's got 6 months on you, maybe fought 3 fires more than what you're about to do. They've only ever been taught pull a cross lay. The EO's only ever been taught pull a cross lay, and the fucking main senior big boss of the crew is 25 years old, and all they were taught was to pull a cross lay. And yet when we're doing our bullshit checkoffs in the morning, everybody's pencil whooping them on their fucking PS Tracks or whatever program it is that you're using. Oh, is the apartment lay there? Yeah, the apartment lay's there. Boom. But what the fuck do we use the apartment lay for? What's in the name? Apartment lay. And yet we don't know how to do it. We don't know how to use it. We pull a cross lay on a 3- and 4-story apartment and go up the stairwells with a 200-foot cross lay. Either knowing or not knowing, I really can't say, but I've just seen, tons and tons of videos of it and just guys that do it over and over and over again. They'll pull a cross lay on fucking everything. And then you're looking at it and you're like, hey, bro, it's a commercial building. Them stairs are fucking 10 foot. You just went up 4 of them. You had a 50-foot offset from the staircase to the truck. By the time you get to that top staircase, you got like 20 foot of fucking hose left, bro. What the fuck? How are you going to do that? Oh, I don't know. That's what I was taught. That's what I was taught. And I've been told that by so many people going to these conferences, that's what I was taught. And so what that tells me, guys, is what we're teaching people, the training that all you departments are doing is failing. Because there's more to the fire service, there's more to the fire emergency scene than being the guy on the nozzle. That is the fun part. Yes, it is. That's the fun thing to go to the conferences and sign up for, to go flow the nozzle and learn how to do all that stuff. Yes, I get it. But there's more to it than that. You have to be that guy that can critically think through this stuff. And then you look up and you've been on the job 5-6 years. And this shit that should have been taught to you 5-6 years ago, you've never seen. And where it all circles back to, guys, is the departments. Our departments, the training is not teaching people to critically think. It's not teaching firefighters to abstract think. And I got slapped in the face really bad with the last social media little frenzy that was caused. People take everything at face value, and it goes along just with the SOG shit. It takes literally what is said on that fucking SOG. That's the face value of it. That's 100% gospel to these people. Well, the face value of the most recent Facebook bullshit was this guy's calling this dude that gives all this money away to foundations and helps out firefighters is calling him a bad guy. So he's the bad guy because he's attacking this. And that shirt's stupid because this guy says it's stupid. And so that's the face value of everything. Guys, you're supposed to be the most critically thinking, problem-solving people in our communities. And yet you're taking everything at face value. Everything. How? For one, I think it's a distraction because everybody's got their phone like this all the fucking time. So all we can't think past, the haha funny TikTok videos and Instagram reels and the fucking cat videos that are funny and all that shit. And I watch all that kind of bullshit too from time to time, guys. I'm not saying that it's the devil or anything like that, but what I am saying is you're losing your ability to critically think when you can't see something past the face value. That's what I learned hard over the last 2 weeks with social media. No one can see anything past face value. It's awesome. The founding outlaws that stepped up talking, in defense of me. Well, the shirt means more to that. Firehouse Fistfight shirt means more to that. Yeah, but the face value is, oh, we're just going to fist fight in the station. That's fucking stupid. And you're going to be in HR and all this shit. Not knowing that literally there's an entire hour plus episode describing the backstory of this and how directors of HR have literally told me that they support the mission and everything behind that shirt. Chiefs, assistant chiefs, captains, you name it in the fire department that all you guys think, I'll get in trouble if I work. Those guys are literally saying, absolutely, these people need to believe in the mission of firehouse fistfights. But you're taking it at face value because that's all firefighters can do anymore. Because you're so distracted on everything. Guys, and the last part of this episode, this is what I'm going to talk about. It's been really cool. 26 already has been cool because I've got to reflect a lot. I'm, very deep into the operator standard app through andyfrisella.com, who's also, the owner of First Form, and it has a badass AI platform that's business minded and really helping me trying to wrap a lot of my thoughts up because I think a lot of shit and a lot of stuff crosses my mind, but I don't always know how to package it. And so this platform is really helping me package a lot of stuff, but it's also giving me the ability to do a lot of reflecting on how I view things and what I truly think about stuff. And, guys, I've worked with, I've been in now almost 17 years. June will be 17 years. And with that, for those of you that are new to the show, 8 of that I work 2 full-time jobs. The rest of the time I work, damn near full-time, 2 full-time jobs. Let's just put it like that. So, just take the 8 years, 2 full-time, truly full-time jobs where I was doing 96 hours on, 48 hours off every week for 8 years, basically. You're looking at, that's 16 years of actual time in a station. No, I can't claim that, but that's actually what it looks like of time in a station. Then on top of that, you take all the jobs where I was working 36 hours a week at another department, but still working my department full-time for 48 hours. That's almost, and I've done that multiple other years. So you add it all together, and I got over 25 years in a fire station of truly being in the station. Can't claim all that, but that's just the logistics of how it actually looks. In doing that, I've met a lot of people. And people ask me all the time, man, how do you know so many people? How do you know such over here, such over there, and all this kind of stuff? And it's like, man, it's just when you work at a lot of places, which I have, and you worked at some places that had a 110, 115% turnover rate, and you were there for a while, you met a lot of people. One agency, I watched 50, 60 people come and go from that one agency in my time period there. Well, now they're all scattered across, working all across Texas at different departments of all different ranks. Some of them are still firefighters. So I've got some that are chiefs. Shit, my assistant chief in my part-time was my rookie at my full-time 10 years ago. That's literally how it works. So you get to meet a lot of fucking people, man. And in doing that, I've also got to see where people's priorities are in the fire service and what's important to them, what they care about, what drives them in their career or what drives them in their personal life. And I will tell you a big thing that I've seen over the last 5 years. There's not much of a drive for the career of the fire service anymore. Dudes that have only been in 3 years are already saying, I'm just here to collect a check. Dudes not even been here 3 years are saying, I'm just here to collect a check. 3 years, 5 years, 8 years in, you still don't have a fucking clue about the fire service or fighting fire. At 8 years in, yeah, you got a clue. If you worked at a place that burns a lot. I shouldn't say that. But at 8 years in, 10 years in, you're saying, fuck it, I'm just here to collect a check. Anything less than that, man, we're failing. We're 100% failing. This job is dangerous as and I think number one problem with that, I'll be cold-hearted, and I don't wish nobody to get hurt. That's not what I'm wanting out of this. What I want people to is realize what I'm saying without somebody having to get hurt. Most of your departments are new, 15 years and less. The growth is damn sure new. Some of the departments might have been around a while, but the size of the department, the growth of the department is all relatively new. And the deal is, man, most of y'all have never experienced having one of your guys hurt or killed. And so you don't fucking know how real it can get. You know, Houston Fire Department. I love them. I fucking love them. Some of the best people I've ever met in my life come from Houston Fire Department, and some of the worst people I've ever met in my life come from Houston Fire Department. But as a whole, the operational standard of Houston Fire Department is non-compromising. They do not give a fuck where you came from. They do not give a fuck what you think you know. You come in here and you will do it like this. Why? Because you can fucking die here. And the cold, hard truth to it, Houston gets a lot of guys hurt and killed. That's the truth to it. The reason? Because Houston fights more fire than fucking anybody in the world. Statistically, that's how it's going to work out. If you drive so many miles a year on the highway, statistically, you're going to wreck more than likely before somebody that barely drives. That's just how it is. That's data. You cannot fucking change that. So Houston knows that. Houston doesn't compromise on that. They do not change their operations, and you have to fucking learn your job at Houston. You have to. There is nobody that gets to skate and just, fuck it. I'll hide behind the apology. And I say there is nobody. There probably is somebody, but no one I've ever met. Everyone I've ever met, now, even when they got older and they got retired on duty and they were just coasting and they went out to a slow station just, padding their pension, they still spent 15, 20 years in the system where they had to fucking kick ass and know their damn job. Or that was their ass. Because there's no room for error, because you will get somebody killed. And they have, and they do. Most of you departments, guys that listen to this podcast, have never experienced that. And so you're able to get distracted, and this is just a saying that I use, but you're able to use hope as a tactic. We hope we never get anybody hurt. We hope we never get anybody killed. We hope we never fucking break anything or burn anybody's houses down. Or we hope that, we never have a civilian fatality. You're still able to say we hope because it's never happened to you. But if you worked at a department where it had happened, hope is no longer a tactic. You're going to say, we are going to do it like this so that this never happens again. When you get a citizen killed and that citizen turns around and sues your fucking ass, and then you're in court and all your SOGs and all your bullshit do not stand up in court, and you get slapped with a multi-million-dollar lawsuit in which now you have to pay restitution to that family because of your bad actions, you will reflect back on that and say, you will never do this again so that this does not happen again. You can't just say, well, we hope anymore. Hope is gone because now it's real. And with your fire departments out there, all the way down from the top chief to the day one rookie, need to understand hope is never a tactic in something that can get you fucking killed. Spending your time being distracted and not learning your job when you've been on the job for a few years and just saying, I'm just here to collect a check, I'm just here for that, I'm just here, and not still learning, and guys, like the saying is all the time, you learn something every day. I always kind of thought that was stupid. I always did. I'm like, what the fuck? You have these old guys out here that, I learn something new every day. Okay. I never really knew what the fuck that meant until I started traveling and learning. And it's not even that I'm learning new tactics. I'm learning what motherfuckers ain't learning. I'm learning that there's so many guys out there that literally know one fucking thing. I'm learning that there's a lot of chiefs out there that don't even know the conditions of their own department because they're so disconnected because they have so much of their shit going on that they think, hey, we put out this policy, would have put out this SOG, and that's going to take care of everything. The guys will tend to it, and then it doesn't get fucking taken care of. The chiefs think everything's good because they're in their office. They're trying to manage hundreds and hundreds of people and, hundreds of thousands or millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, hell, Like the guys in Florida, they got $1 billion budget with a B. They're trying to manage all that shit, keep trucks on the road and keep stations, in service and all this other shit. They don't have time to come over here and ask a damn 6-month firefighter, do you know what an apartment lay is for? They don't have time to come to an EO that's driving a ladder truck and say, if your ladder truck is a rear mount, how do you spot your apparatus on a building? Where do you spot your apparatus on? They don't do that because they think it's fine. And us senior guys that are running around out there, and guys, I'm no different. I have been burned by the best, lied to, fucked over. There ain't one damn thing that one of you guys out there can tell me that you've gone through in your career that I have not witnessed myself or gone through myself in my career. If you tell me a story, I'm gonna be like, damn, okay, and I'll probably have to give you a shout out. So I understand the frustration, but at the end of the day, guys, this shit will get you fucking killed. As long as you're still riding on the truck, it will get you fucking killed. So the fuckovers and the damn screwed overs and they did this to me and fuck this chief and all that stuff that you feel and I feel and every single one of us that's literally been slapped in the face by this industry and feel fucking absolutely destroyed by this industry at different times, that does not change shit at that fucking 4-story apartment complex on fire. That firefighter riding on that truck with you and you not teaching that motherfucker a damn thing because you're pissed off. And now that guy hasn't been told shit besides, well, fuck it, retire on duty, been in 6 months, I'm here collecting a check. You're gonna get them fucking killed. And then in turn, guys, this is where the vicious cycle is right now. This is where I see that we are as a fire service right now. 15 years ago, I worked with a lot of fucking old salty bastards that were burnt the fuck out, been on ambulances forever, were mad as shit, hated the fucking administrations, they hated the direction of the fire service, and they instilled that fucking hate in on me. They did. You can call it negativity, call it whatever the hell you want to. I was pissed off just as much as they were pissed off. Well, and I've done my fair share of passing on that pissed offness. What I tried to do is still teach guys enough to keep them alive. I did try to do that. Wasn't always done for me, but I did try to pass that on. Now, I know there was time periods in my career where I hit the big fuck it button. I did, without a doubt. When I left and went industrial, I was 100% at the fuck it button status. Had my pay stole, had motherfuckers running me in the ground, working me 96 hours a week because it was COVID and it was disaster. So they were able to mandatory you out the ass. The fire chief marked me AWOL when I had put in for my own damn wedding damn near a year ahead of time to be off. And then he calls me the fucking day before my wedding talking about I'm AWOL because I didn't show up to fucking shift. And I'm like, oh, no, I've been fucked over just as much as every single one of you. And at that point in time, guys, I will say wholeheartedly, I hit the fuck it button. Fuck this industry. Fuck these people. I don't give a damn. Nobody's looking after me, so I'm not looking after them. Fuck them. I've been that guy. Left, went and did industrial, spent 2 years getting my head wrapped back around who I was, what I loved. Was it the fire service anymore? Did I even give a shit anymore? All this stuff. I had that self-reflection time. A lot of you have not had that. You don't have the luxury to do that. I understand that. But what you can do now is start on it. Figure out who the fuck you are. Figure out what you want to be. Figure out what you want out of this career. And if it is just collect a check, then fine. Just collect a check, but you better fucking know some shit. And what your non-negotiable should be, collect a check, say fuck the Chiefs, I don't care. But you still have the responsibility to make sure that that guy riding on the truck with you that just still got hired can stay alive. And teaching that guy that all there is to being a firefighter is pulling a cross lay, getting on the nozzle, and that's where the job stops, taking vital signs on a fucking med call, that's where the job stops. That is not, I don't care how much you hit the fucking button, that is not acceptable behavior anymore. That is the bare minimum. You have to at least pass on what you fucking know about fire attack, about fire operations, about medical operations. You have to pass that on. Now, if you also want to pass on, man, fuck that chief, he's a piece of shit. I can't tell you yes or no on that because I don't know your chief. But if that's part of the package, then that's part of the package. But you cannot stop teaching those guys under you how to stay alive and how to keep the community alive. You have to at least do that. And that includes me. That includes me, guys. There's so much more to this job that people have got to understand. We are not one-trick ponies. The crosslay is not the only fucking tool on a damn truck if you're a pipeman. You have to know how to use fucking everything. You have to know how to critically think, look at a situation, understand the situation, and you have seconds to make a fucking decision to do it. We are the special forces of the fire service. We are the special operators of the fire service. That's a non-negotiable. You have to be able to do it all. I will not give up on that. I will not change my opinion on that. The public demands that of you. Your chief may not. Your chief may say, stay inside this box, follow these SOGs, and that's fucking it. That's all you're allowed to do. And if that's the case, I'm sorry that you work in a department like that. That's not what I want for any one of y'all. I wish we could all work for badass, outstanding chiefs that give a shit. But that's not the case for every single person in this industry. We all have our own battles at our own departments. All of us do. But it is your job to keep the guy next to you alive. That's the brotherhood. It's not drinking beer with a dude on days off. The brotherhood is giving a shit. And part of giving a shit is giving them the tools and the knowledge to stay the fuck alive. We're failing at that. We have got to get back to a place where we can critically think. We've got to get back to a place where we can problem solve for every emergency. We have to be able to make shit happen, guys. When the stats are coming out that civilian fire fatalities are going up, like they are recently in some states I've seen, where there's been more civilians killed in fires than the year before that and the year before that, and our trend is going up, and yet we have better trucks, better equipment, all of us are way more educated than ever before. That points to one thing, and it's that we don't know how to problem solve to get shit done on the fire ground. That's all it points to. We have all the knowledge in the world, all the equipment in the world, all the technology in the world, but we don't know how to fucking apply it. That's the cold, hard truth to it, guys. That's where we are 2026 in today's fire service. I'm going to do my part, but I'm one guy. I'm one fucking guy from deep East Texas. That's it. There's 1 million firefighters across this country. I'm literally one in a million. We all have to do our part. We all have to step up. And, you know, it's been proven. It's been proven through this podcast that you can make a difference. Guys message me and there's one fucking dude and they go against a policy and then they go and talk to the chief and they explain why they went against that policy and the chief changes the policies and implements something better. That's all that shit is. If you can prove why you thought outside the box, then the chiefs are not going to be against it. If they are, then they're a royal piece of shit and you need to get rid of them as a whole, whether that looks like politically or whatever. Their day will come. But stop getting caught up in this, we have to stay inside the box mentality in the fire service, because we can't be put in a box. You can't. When every incident, and I mean, I look out here right now, guys, all across here. I got all my horses out here. Any type of emergency could happen right now. I got, you know, I could have to do where we have a ditch that runs through over here. I could have to do a fucking below grade rescue right over there. All the agricultural equipment could be happen out here. I could have an agricultural equipment incident, medical emergency, massive trauma. A guy could be out here cutting trees and get hung up in one of these pine trees. Now I have a high angle rescue. A fire could start right over here in my pasture. That could be a grassland fire, or if it gets up in the pine trees, now I have an insane woods fire. And if y'all never heard fire running through the pine trees whenever it's crowning out across those pine trees, you haven't lived, especially when it goes over top of you. It's scary as shit. Right here, my own place, my own little land right here, and I see so many different circumstances where an expertise of problem solving would be required just on my own fucking piece of property. Now look around your place, look around your house, look around your apartment. You live in a 4-story apartment. A million different things could happen at your 4-story apartment, but you guys aren't thinking about that. You're not thinking about all the aspects that could take place that you might need to be an expert in a problem solver just at your own fucking house. And you say you care about your families. Can you truly critically think and problem solve at your own house for any circumstance, what if, that you could possibly imagine? Or would that be outside your scope of knowledge? If it is, you still got some shit to learn. So you don't have the luxury of saying, I'm just collecting a check. No, you got some fucking research to do. You got some learning to do. You got some hands-on skills you need to do. Because it ain't just a certification that makes you be able to do that stuff. It's the practical application of being able to do it, then also do it under pressure, then also do it under pressure when you got somebody screaming at you, then do it under pressure when you got somebody screaming at you and it's not favorable weather conditions, whether it's hot as fuck or it's icy like it was a couple of weeks ago, or the sun is, blah, 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 blah. You got to be able to do that bullshit under pressure, somebody screaming at you in the rain, the sleet, the snow, the fire. It don't make a shit. You got to be able to do it under all those circumstances without even thinking about it. So if you can't take a fucking blood pressure, and this is where it's going to get kind of interesting. Fire chiefs out there, I got a skill for you guys. Have your guys take a fucking set of vital signs, because that's bare bones. That's what we can all do as a day one rookie, is take vital signs. Make them do it in the dark with a flashlight. Make them do it outside in the bright open sun. Make them do it with somebody screaming in the background. Make them do it in the fucking rain or in the cold. And have somebody check them to make sure they're not bullshitting on their vital signs. And I ain't talking about hooking them up to the life pack and hitting the fucking blood pressure button. Make them do it. That's a bare bones minimum skill that you should be able to do in any condition. And if you can't, then you can't just sit there and show up and collect a check, can you? You got shit to work on. That's where we are, guys. We got to bring back the critical thinking. We got to bring back the abstract thinking of firefighters to problem solve in any situation, because that's what we're tasked to do. Nobody else is coming. The cops call us when they have an emergency, guys. That's it. I mean, there's nobody else coming but the fire department. We have to fix every fucking emergency, regardless of the weather, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of how bad it sucks and how long you're going to be there. It's on you. So you have to think outside the box. You have to take something more than just at face value to really make a difference. And I know all of you want to make a difference, or you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. You wouldn't have followed us, throughout all the craziness and ups and downs that this has been, guys. I know that you want to make a difference. So that's where we are. Guys, share this episode. Share this episode and get it out. Make guys start thinking. Founding Outlaws out there, I know y'all are going to share it. I don't even have to ask y'all to do it. But if you see somebody that's starting to share, so you want to bring somebody else along, be a part of this, let me know. I want to build this even more of firefighters that really give a shit. I want to truly be able to I want to be able to look around and know that I go to any department in this nation and there's a guy there that's a founding outlaw of the Third Alarm Cowboys that can be fucking counted on. Whether it's a firefighter or all the way up to the chief, because we got a lot of chiefs that are founding outlaws now. I know that I could count on them if I lived in that community, because they're going to make shit happen if it's in my time of emergency. That's what I want for every single one of you. You should all want to live in a place that's the culture. Anyways, guys, be sure and go get your cigars ordered. Get your pre-order shirts ordered for these conferences. March is going to be insane. March is going to be busy, man. I cannot fucking wait. We're literally somewhere every week of March. It's going to be absolutely outstanding. I actually had to burn some PTO to be able to go to some of these conferences. So it's going to be awesome, guys. Can't wait to see y'all there. Y'all be sure and share the shit out of this show, and we'll see you on the next one.